Representative Leach, so this morning you and I talked a little bit about the entrapment language,
Yes.
and I think you had your own questions about
yeah.
about what that was. Do you have anything further on that yet?
Yeah, I
If
do.
not- okay.
I will admit to you that we should use another word than entrapment, and I'm happy to work with you on language. The effect there is to allow, or the purpose there is to allow law enforcement to, if they need to order if we pass this bill, law enforcement believes that there are providers, manufacturers, distributors out there that are skirting the bill and still doing it, then in that case, law enforcement would of course be protected from civil liability under the bill if they seek to order to find out who in fact is still violating Texas law. I don't like the word entrapment. We need to figure out another way to more artfully and I think legally say that, and I'm happy to work with you on that.
Okay, appreciate that. Because it actually, the bill mentions entrapment in at least one other place that I didn't realize when we were talking about it earlier today, and that's on page 8. It's kind of a long section, but it starts, notwithstanding any other law, on the previous page, notwithstanding any other law, the following are not a defense to action brought under section 171A.101. So that's the cause of action, right? That's where you can sue.
Yeah.
And so one of the items listed as not a defense is entrapment. So does that mean, as written, does that mean if a woman is sued for taking or possessing one of these drugs, that if she says, look, I was entrapped into...
Sorry, did you just say if a woman is sued
Yes.
for taking the drugs?
Yes.
It's not. We've protected the woman under this bill.
Okay, excuse me, I misspoke. If a suit is brought, am I reading it right that the person being sued, the company being sued, the person, transporting, distributing, possessing, all the things that, that if they say I was entrapped into doing this or fooled into doing it or whatever, that is not a legitimate defense. I think that's what the bill's saying, but I'm trying to confirm.
I think we can work on language, and I don't want to belabor the point. The goal here is to, again, in a world where we've passed this bill and it's law, and the vast majority of abortion-inducing drugs have disappeared from the market, and things seem to be working well, but there's this one manufacturer distributor out there that we believe is still doing it. Well, I, as a citizen or law enforcement, can go and test it and order the drug, and if in fact they do violate Texas law, we need to see if in fact they distribute it, manufacture it, deliver it to the state of Texas so that we can pursue action against them. That would be what this language is intended to protect. In that case, if I did that, or if law enforcement did that, that person would not be subjected under the bill to liability, if in fact that was their intent.
Okay. All right. Thank you for answering that. Then, secondly and lastly, on page 6, line 15 through 19, I think you touched on this earlier this morning in a conversation with Representative Raymond. As I read that, you're saying that basically if someone has committed sexual assault, that individual is not allowed to bring an action under this bill.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. There is a missing. I don't have. I'm a little. I took my pages out of their binding, and now they're all over the place. So I'm having trouble finding page 6. But there is my review after our questioning this morning was that there's a misplaced comma.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a misplaced comma, or
Okay.
perhaps a missing comma. That
There may be. That's actually not my question. I just want to make sure I'm understanding
yes,
that part of the bill right.
Correct. A
Leading up
man who sexually assaults a woman does not have
Right.
any new rights given to him under this bill, nor should he.
But someone who transports or distributes or possesses one of these drugs to help a woman who's been a victim of sexual assault, provided they weren't the person who was the assailant, they would still be potentially liable under.
They're committing an illegal act under Texas law.
Okay, so just to be clear,
But just to be clear, that is the case.
yeah, I want to make sure I
I just
understand
want
the
to make
bill.
sure we're on the same
If-
page
if-
so I can understand your question more
Yes.
clearly.
The question is, if someone is a victim of sexual assault and they do not want to have the baby, and a brother, a sister, a relative, a minister,
A human trafficker,
sure, but I think in a lot of cases, what we're talking about is a family friend, a family member, helps them obtain an abortion-inducing drug, that person is not protected from litigation under this bill.
correct, that person is effectuating and helping to effectuate, along with others, an illegal act under Texas law.
All right, thank you.